I hope you all are okay. So today we are starting a new lesson, that is cell structure and function. So in this particular lecture we are going to talk about three questions. We'll try to understand the three particular questions. First is what it mean by cell. What is cell? Second is what is cell theory? And the third is how the evolution of cell has happened. The modern cell, what we are seeing today, that is eukaryotic and prokaryotic cell, how that has exactly formed. So without wasting the time, we'll start the lesson. First of all, what is a cell? So if I try to define the cell, cell is basically, it is an aqueous environment which is covered by a cell membrane. So it is an aqueous environment which is covered by a cell membrane. Also, it is having a capacity to perform the different life processes. What are different life processes? The nutrition, the digestion, the circulation as well as excretion. So cell is an aqueous compartment bounded by a cell membrane and having the capacity to perform the different life functions. Cell is also the structural and functional unit of life. So if we start and talk about from where the cell word has come, the cell has come from a Latin language which means cellula. Cellula means a small compartment, a small hole-like structure. Also, Robert Hooke was the first person, he actually observed the cell in dead form, in the cork. Basically, he observed the dead plant cells. So they weren't the living. And the living cell was actually seen by the Anton von Leeuwenhoek, and he gave the cell name animalculus. Animalculus means something which is moving inside the microscope. Then next is cell are of two types. One is the prokaryotic cell and second is the eukaryotic cells. What are prokaryotic cells? Prokaryotics are primitive. Pro means primitive and karyon means nucleus. So they are primitive cells. So primitive cells that actually formed prior to the eukaryotic cells. It does not have the organelles, all the organelles present in them. Like it does not have the Golgi body, it doesn't have the membrane or mitochondria or the chloroplast in them. Although it doesn't have the other cell organelles, still it is capable of performing the different life processes. Prokaryotic cell we can find in the moneras, different kinds of bacteria. Next is the eukaryotic cells. So this is a little advanced form of the cell wherein all the different organelles such as the mitochondria, chloroplast, Golgi bodies, ER, everything is present inside them, and the different compartmentalization, they are also helping in formation of tissue. Now if we start and talk about the eukaryotic cells, they are unicellular eukaryotic cells as well as the multicellular eukaryotic cells. Protista like paramecium, euglenoids, amoeba, they all are unicellular eukaryotic cells. Otherwise, the plant cells and the animal cells, they all are multicellular eukaryotic cells. Now we'll talk about what is mean by cell theory. So there was two persons, Skillerin and Swan. Skillerin was the German botanist and Swan was the British botanist. So what they have actually done is they studied the cell differently and they figured out the different properties of the cells. This was happened in 1839. Then the third scientist came in the 1855. His name is Robert Hooke. So all these scientists together, the Skillerin, Swan and Robert Hooke, they postulate the different properties of the cells, and this postulates of those scientists, they are termed as cell theory. The first part in the cell theory is that all the living organisms except viruses, because viruses behave as dead, like without a living system it is dead, so it is not a cell. So all the living organism, let it be a bacteria or fungus or plant or animal, they all are made up of cell. That is the first point in the postulate. The second part is cell is the structural and functional unit of life. How structural? It is actually helping the cell to bear a particular structure. The plant cell is hexagonal shape because of the kind of cell present in them, and the animal cell doesn't have the definite shape. That is also because of the different structure of the cell present inside them. So cell actually giving the particular structure to the living organism. Also, it is helping in performing the different life processes such as nutrition, circulation, excretion, respiration, everything. So it is a structural as well as functional unit of life. Third postulate is it actually came from the pre-existing cells through asexual or sexual reproduction. So this particular given by the Robert Hooke in 1855. He says omni cellula e celluli. So this particular course says that all the cells what we see today, they actually came from their parent cells through the process of asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction. Next point is the energy flow happens within the cell. Basically, we need the energy so that our cellular compartment have certain kind of movement, and this movement is important so that the cellular repair and maintenance can happen. So this particular formation of energy, basically formation of ATP or ADP or CTP or GTP and different forms of the energy, the formation and degradation happens within the cell. So energy flow happens within the cell. Next part is the hereditary information. All the cells, they carry the hereditary information in the forms of gene and chromosome inside their nucleus. There is no exception for that. This hereditary information, it has the information about what kind of protein is going to be synthesized, what kind of hormones are going to be formed, the height and everything what we have, it actually have the information in the DNA. And this DNA will be transferred from one generation to the next generation through the different sexual reproduction processes and asexual reproduction processes. So the basic point is all the cells, let it be a bacterial or plant cell or animal cell or protist, everyone have the hereditary information in the form of DNA within the nucleus. The next part is the chemical composition of all the cells are remain. Let it be any kind of cells, but they are basically made up of carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen. So basic component of all cells are same. Next, we'll talk about evolution of cells. So cell is thought to be existing like around 3.5 billion years ago. Okay, and also if we want to see like how the evolution of cell has happened, so initially we just have the organic soup or the organic compound which is present in the ocean and which is called primordial soup. So this primordial soups, then further advancement, it actually became the chemoheterotrophs. What are chemoheterotrophs? They are not able to synthesize their food by their own. Second, they use chemicals such as sulfur, phosphorus and other metals so that they can get the energy from them. Then after chemoheterotrophs, suddenly they got due to some advancement, they actually have the ability to synthesize the food by using solar energy. That is, they have the capacity for doing the photosynthesis. Now, initially for the photosynthesis, electron donor was hydrogen sulfide. But later on, now we know that water is actually used as an electron donor in case of photosynthesis. Next is the prokaryote organism has formed, and later on in the process of adaptation and advancement, we have the eukaryotic cells, the pre-eukaryotic cells and the mature eukaryotic cells. So this is all about this lesson. So we'll revise what we have understood in this particular lesson. First of all, what is a cell? So cell is an aqueous compartment which actually is capable of independent existing and performing the different life processes. Initially, first of all, the cell was described by the Robert Hooke in the dead form in 1665. Later on, the living cell was discovered by the Anton von Leeuwenhoek. What is cell theory? So there are three scientists, Schleiden, Schwann and Robert Hooke. They postulated 6 points, 6 properties which can be known as the cell theory. First of all the living organisms are made up of the cell. Second is cell is the structural functional unit of the life. Third is all the cells comes from the pre-existing cells, through sexually or asexual reproduction. Next is the energy flow happens within the cell. And other than that, all the different composition of the cell will remain same. Also, the cell will have the hereditary information in the form of DNA which get transformed from one generation to another generation. Then we read about the evolution wherein initially we have chemoheterotrophs which have formed from the prebiotic soup. These chemoheterotrophs, after some year of the evolution, they have got the capacity for the photosynthesis, and this photosynthetic cell then start forming the aerobic and anaerobic and then prokaryotic as well as eukaryotic and multicellular eukaryotes. So this is all about this lesson. We'll see you in the next lesson wherein we'll talk about the cell membrane. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day.